Ye- Yes, indeed, Desiree. The president has arrived. As you can see with the visuals we are showing you, we weren't allowed to go closer due to COVID-19 protocols, as we also promised to get a doorstep with the president. So we also decided to just step back a bit in order not to be exposed or to expose anyone coming to get their vaccine of COVID-19. You can see the president, the premier of the province, David Makura, the acting minister of health, Mamlogo Kubai Ngubane, engaging with community members who have come here to register, to vaccinate, and also to be screened as they also go inside this Rabasutu community center to get their COVID-19 vaccine. The president is on a tour across 2 vaccination sites here in Gauteng, which is the government one here in Rabasutu, and also he will be going to the public-private partnership one in the Gallagher Estate Convention Center, where our colleague Chriselda will be reporting from. As you can see with those visuals there, the president is engaging with the various staff that has been employed by the Department of Health to go through the registration period and the screening of those who are coming to receive their COVID-19 vaccines here at this Rabasutu community center to get their COVID-19. It actually comes also at a time, this visit of the president here in Tembisa, as over 7 million South Africans have received their COVID-19 jabs as government battles to reach ahead of time by the end of the year to get a herd population immunity of COVID-19 in the country, particularly knowing that they are now ramping up the vaccination process of South Africans, with the vaccination period going to be open to 18 and 34-year-olds on the 1st of September, in about a month or 2 from now, as more vaccines come into the country with Johnson & Johnson and also Pfizer each week, bringing in various doses of COVID-19 into the country, and particularly knowing that SAPRA has also approved Sinovac from China, which is one of the COVID-19 vaccines that has not yet reached our shores or has been rolled out at this point in time. You've had critics such as EFF leader Julius Malema saying that South Africa's COVID-19 vaccination drive is like a light switch. When there is Johnson & Johnson vaccines, there is vaccinations. When there is no Johnson & Johnson vaccines, the light switch is switched off, which means there are no vaccines. The president, addressing the nation in the past 2 States of the Nation addresses, did highlight that they will be ramping up COVID-19 vaccinations, and particularly knowing that COVID-19 vaccination processes were halted a bit and disrupted with the various lootings that were going on in the country, particularly in provinces such as the one we're at here in Gauteng, and also provinces such as KwaZulu-Natal, which also prompted the president to go to provinces such as KwaZulu-Natal to see the damage that was done in those provinces. But it seems as if Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal are trying to recoup the time that was lost, and the vaccination centers that were destroyed during the lootings. You'd remember that about 54,000 doses of vaccines were also stolen during the lootings that were going on in the country. Desiree.
Just covered a briefing from the Western Cape government where the head of health there, Dr. Kluti, was talking about constrained vaccine supply. How are we balancing the conversation between supply and the complaint that people are not coming through to vaccinate?
Well, on the issue of people coming through to vaccinate, the numbers that I've particularly seen, particularly within this site here in Tembisa, a huge number of residents of this area have come through to vaccinate. There are those whom have seemingly been against and was within their democratic right to refuse to take a COVID-19 vaccine, as it's not mandatory. It's a decision of an individual, but the president has said that he is asking South Africans to go and vaccinate in their numbers. We may have to cut this crossing short, Desiree, in about a minute or two, as President Ramaphosa will be going in, and only our camera colleagues will go in. Abab Japan is just going to remove the camera from the tripod. Our shot may be shaky. I'm going to move with him for a short period, and as the President takes his first step on these steps going inside, I may have to cut the crossing, as we will then not have communication with my camera colleague. As you can see, the President engaging with the residents of Tembisa here, who are here to receive their COVID-19 vaccine. You can see the Premier of the province, David Makura, alongside him as well. Behind the President is the MEC of Health in the province, and also one of the senior nurses who is in charge of this particular vaccination site is also alongside the President, and the Acting Minister of Health, Mambologo Kubai Ngubane, who's also going to be receiving her vaccine this afternoon with the community of the tourism industry in the country. So it essentially tells you that government is trying to ramp up their administering of COVID-19 vaccines in the country. As we've heard in that briefing in the Western Cape, Premier of that province, Alan Winde, saying that there is a shortage of supply of these COVID-19 vaccines, but we will engage with President Cyril Ramaphosa on these specific matters of the availability of COVID-19 vaccines, particularly knowing that South African government is largely reliant on the issue of Pfizer and also Johnson & Johnson, and knowing that these Johnson & Johnson vaccines are now going further to be administered and to be made in Gqeberha, in Port Elizabeth, and also soon next year the Pfizer vaccines are also going to be made in the country. As I hand over to you, Desiree, the President is now going into this vaccination site, as we are not allowed to go inside.
Thank you so much, Samkele Maseko, setting the scene for us there. We'll go back to Samkele as soon as he's able to conduct live coverage. Let's take a look.